All right, gang, what's going on? Just wanted to give my recap for tonight. Today was a bit of a weird day. I'm not gonna lie. Bit of a um, bit of a weird one. Bit of a weird one still. But today is the 16th of October, and it is a Thursday, right? So jumping into it. Yeah, took two losses and one break even. Um, it's interesting how the market has moved today. It's very like it's almost like it's a bank holiday, if that makes sense. Like just the way it moves and like things like that. It's very like choppy, very consolidation areas like what is this? You know what I mean? Like it's very hard to trade from in terms of where to target and where price should be going to, or but yeah, super super interesting how today played out. So I guess we will jump into the losing trade that ended in like a minute. Oh god. So on the high time frames, right? We did have this huge fair value gap here, but just because we were kind of chopping down a little bit, I did think that we would take out these hourly lows um, before kind of continuing up. But I know people might be thinking, oh yeah, this is the order block here, and yeah, and we reacted from here. Also a big fair value gap here, but again, it's just like ideally with price being so low to Asia low and these hourly lows, price should have definitely done like you know I feel like price could have taken out these lows before even deciding to continue that uptrend, even if I wanted to, just because of how close we were. It's not like we touched and then we reacted. It's kind of like you know we had a couple fair value gaps and things like that where price could react from, to push price down a little bit lower just to take out these lows before continuing up. But as you can see, we did get baited out low key. So on the 5 minute, we did have a 5 minute fair value gap after this big chop down. Um, I was like, okay, sweet. Like this is the only place where price, if it wants to continue on, it would be from here, right? It would definitely, it would definitely be from this area here. Just because an order block is too far away, right? If we tap into this order block, then now this 1 hour order block will now be valid just because of how price displaced up from it, right? This order block here would be valid just because of how much distance we've put since tapping into this order block. But within that time frame, just remember that this candle was like fully black. Like it was something like I'll draw it here. So it was something like this, and I'll just get the two lines up. Oh, if I can even get it there. Can't even get it there. Um, where is it? Is it somewhere like here? Um, oh no, that's super super far. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to draw it for you guys so it kind of makes sense. Oh my god, if I can move it. Okay, just make this a little bit more chunkier. It was like this, right? The candle. Oh wait, and make this a little bit shorter. Just so it was like this, right? That's what this candle looked like. I swear to God. And So I'm like, okay, cool. We're getting some very like bearish momentum here, especially like chopping down like this, and then we create a small gap. For me, that is the only place where price could look to displace from to at least take out these lows, right? Because that's where I was targeting. Like, we're obviously bullish, but again, um, based on liquidity and fair value gaps. So my liquidity draws was Asia low, our previous position Asia low, and these hourly lows down here. When you got them stacked up like this, it's easy for price to take it out in one big wick. But again, I wasn't greedy. I did try aim for these lows down here. So um, um, with that in mind, with that 5 minute fair value gap, you know, I was just pretty much waiting for a retrace into it, which is what we got on this candle here. So I'm like, okay, cool. What am I looking for? I'm looking for price to break the previous fair value gap, which would have been perfect because if we did continue on the trend, right? If we did continue on, um, this there would have been nothing kind of stopping it in its way to take out these lows down here. So I would say a very interesting play as this kind of momentum came really, really fast out of nowhere and really just took me out really, really quick. But again, nothing much I can do with high time frame kind of momentum like that. Again, yeah, nothing really much I can do besides besides just take the loss and yeah, we learn from it as we go. But again, documenting the journey and what I'm learning and what I'm finding out. So yeah, what's GE doing? GU is kind of mucking around here with this big consolidation range here. Yeah, I wouldn't have any clue what to do here just because we are printing gaps, but what are we still in? We are still in a big range here. But if you wanted to go buys, we do have an entry model set, which is we get that liquidity sweep in here. Um, we still within this 5 minute gap. No, we're not. So this would have been an inverse. But then again, we inverse this gap. That should have been a continuation to take out these lows. So don't mind this. It just would have been my BE if I took a trade on GE. But yeah. I mean, if you took a trade right now, you could probably look for something like I don't know, something like this. I mean, already inversed this gap here, so something like something like this. Oh, what the hell? But pretty much something like that. But yeah. Anyways. Oh, yep. Yep. Anyways, the two trades were on gold, right? So, but draws on liquidity were these hourly lows from here, these hourly lows from here. But again, um, pre-market did take out these hourly lows down here, and we displaced heavy from it. So I'm like, okay, cool. See if I can catch a continuation up to Asia highs, right? Because when we get that dispersed up and we're overall, bullish on the trend, overall bullish on the trend, something like something like this as a continuation to take out Asia highs is something to look at in the long run. But with that in mind, let's jump right into it. So the first trade being a loss, right? So we get this 5 minute gap, right? But don't mind the closure below it, as again we were in this 15-minute gap here. We did fill in this 15-minute gap, but also with the reaction um, of closing right back above it with displacement, that could be a sign that orders were just late to stay within this fair value gap here, and we get that displacement up again. So with that in mind, but again, I should have stuck to my rules a little bit more. As this could have saved myself a loss here because if we did inverse, technically we did inverse this gap, so this gap is no longer valid, and we break above it. But So this should have been a no trade in general, which I will learn for next time. So jumping into it, yeah, again, I thought of it as in, okay, cool. Even though we inverse this 5 minute gap here, we were still within this 15-minute gap here, which again, that doesn't make the trade invalid. But again, in terms of my rules, which I should have stuck to, would have made this trade invalid here. But again, we get that displace up from the 5 minute gap or 15-minute gap, and then I'm going into the 1 minute, right? It looks choppy right here. Like when you see price action like this, you expect it to continue, right? You expect it to kind of continue on the trend, but what do? We end up chopping, we get the manipulation and then distribution back up again to these highs. So, um, again, like when you're catching continuations, like normally you're looking for something like this, right? Straight up to these highs. No kind of messing around here. But unfortunately, we did not get that. So, uh, again, whoa, it's interesting. Damn, definitely would have got stopped up right here. Yep. Holy, market is not forgiving. Anyways, back onto gold. Um, and as you can see, I was looking for a 1 minute gap to be inversed, which was this gap here, which we did inverse it. But what did we do? We swept out these highs, filled in this gap here to continue down lower, in which I just didn't think that this fair value gap would mean much. But to me, that's kind of what I saw happen to why I got taken out, which is very rare for price to do that. Just because we react bullish from a fair value gap, we expect it to hold. It's bullish confluences and biases, and you know, and with all of that, um, buyers should be stepping in to hold, these lows. But what ended up happening is that we got wicked out as price came down here and wicked us out, and then um, we turn, we get that huge wick down, stopping all these people, including me, that kind of put their stops below here, and price kind of rips again, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Which brings me on to my second trade. I think my entry was like somewhere around here. But which brings me on to my second trade, right? Again, I did have my break even at these 5 minute highs here. As if we didn't continue on from these 5 minute highs, um, there is high probability that this is would be a liquidity sweep, and to where we'd come out to take out these lows once again before kind of continue on the trend here. So with that, Uh, as you can see, that price didn't really hit this point yet until my second trade. So with my second trade, I saw that we kind of stopped hunt all these people that early bought, including me, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. There should be enough fuel to push us through to take out Asia highs, right? Or previous session Asia highs, because again, that was the only level to look at as we made that retracement. Um, we made that retracement and to continue on the major trend, which were overall bullish. So, uh, yeah, so what ended up happening is that price tapped into this 5 minute highs here, and stops were already at BE, so stops were here. And unfortunately, we did not kind of get that displacement that we were looking for. We did get a valid liquidity sweep, therefore taking us out at break even. And yeah, that was that trade. So two losses, one break even. Definitely a weird day today. Especially with like these points of like these kind of these bullish zones not holding and kind of sweeping everybody out, not really displacing. Um, yeah, but this will be interesting. Right here, you could look for an AMD model here. We get we get that push up liquidity sweep. We get that push down. Still kind of bullish as we're not making any heavy retracements here. Uh, we could high would be here to take out these lows down here, and then to continue on the trend. So yeah, interesting. But I would say that yeah, today was very very choppy. I definitely would have took a loss on Euro USD. Just because of I couldn't really risk manage much because we did get that um, closure above this 1 minute inversion. But again, we still had that 5 minute gap as our defense, and it just took us right out. So on gold, I do think that this should have been a no trade just because the 5 minute gap shouldn't hold, and ideally the 5 minute is just a refinement on the 15 minute. So even though this is a 15 minute gap, um, this gap didn't really hold as my rules, you know, are supposed to kind of be is that the gap should hold. We should close, inside this gap, showing that buyers are still taking control of this area here. Yeah, as you can see, we kind of had the right idea here. We kind of had the right idea. Same kind of thing with Euro USD. We just kind of we got unlucky with the momentum, the high time frame momentum that kicked in really quickly. As you can see, like this is a full 5 minute candle. So um, what else did we have? We also had, as you can see, what I mentioned before is that when you take a trade like this, you don't really expect it to chop. You kind of just want a continuation, which is not what we got here. We got a consolidation instead. We got that manipulation downwards, and then we got that distribution to take out Asia high. So again, like it looks like a continuation when you think about it like this. Um, when you see this, if you're looking from on the side of things, but again, it just becomes a kind of consolidation, manipulation, then distribution. So yeah, very very interesting day today. I am I accidentally risked 2%. I wasn't really looking because I wanted to get these entries in, but I am down 3% on on not really. My account is in profits, my live account, but again, we are still 3% down for the day. So yeah, we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Um, and yeah, stick to the plan. Obviously, the plan works. Just definitely got unlucky with this Euro USD trade, as well as well. Yeah, sorry, this Euro USD trade as well as this gold trade has. We kind of went outside the macro here with how long these trades took. These trades were taken within the 2 hour time frame. Like that 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock time frame, and unfortunately we just didn't get that displacement that we were looking for. So yeah, again, one thing I do probably want to tell myself is that um, yeah, I couldn't really do much about this gold trade too here. It just didn't really give us room to breathe as we try to push up, and again it just wasn't enough, and we stopped hunt, and and with that second trade it took us to BE, and that wasn't even enough. The stop hunt wasn't enough to continue on the trend. So yeah, it's very very interesting. Price normally doesn't act like this. So yeah, I guess we did the best we could, and we'll come back at it tomorrow and see how we go there. So again, 3% down on the day. Should have been 2%, but I risked more accidentally, but I just let it run anyways on my live account, which is fine. Um, Again, trading is all about risks, and happy with the risk. So yeah, with that in mind, I will catch you guys up. So peace. Um, have a good rest of your night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.